welcome to the Inspired Beatles. The Beatles had famous chemistry. Guitarist Eric Clapton describes it from up close.
I saw the Beatles play at the Hammersmith Odeon when I was at bottom of the bill in the Yardbirds. This band was they were like a single person. It was an odd phenomenon, in fact, that they seemed to move together and think together. It was almost like a little family unit. I was very, very suspicious about what they were up to. But when I saw them play, I mean, I was overwhelmed by their gift. You know, each one of them seemed to be very well endowed with their own musical capacity. Beatles, man, come on.
But the question for this video is, why? Certainly, good friendships and hard work were important factors, but I'd like to point out something really big that you don't often hear talked about. It turns out that the Beatles' personalities line up exactly with the 4 famous personality temperaments. These are the classical 4 dimensions of God's love: goodness, truth, and beauty, and then the oneness of that life. When you fall in love with somebody, you connect in all of them. Inside of us, we have an appetite for all of these based on our will, intellect, and emotions of that life. Now, George's primary preference is for goodness, like the discipline of autumn. John is about truth, the direct clarity that you get in winter. Paul about beauty, as in the joyful spring. And Ringo is about the paradise of chilling out, the composite satisfaction when brothers dwell in unity. You can even see these really clearly in the lineup of the band on stage. The experience is that everything seems to fit. There's nothing missing. Another example is that any fan will have somebody in the band to connect with. John said that whenever one of them fell, somehow somebody was always able to pick them up. And there's so much to these patterns. It explains a lot. This fullness of their personality temperaments is a major contributor in their core identity, and thus their massive appeal. Before we close, one other point that's really interesting. If you look at the odds of this happening, the Beatles exactly representing these 4 temperaments, it's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. That is 4 possibilities for each of the 4 slots in the band, or 1 out of 256. And that's just this quality of Beatlemania. It's astonishing.
There's all sorts of lucky things came together, amazing little coincidences.
Sure.
Amazing skills added to those coincidences. There's a lot of stuff that came together to make the Beatles. It took on a life of its own, you know. And we were all different personalities. But because we had each other, it worked.
Okay, pretty cool, huh? Thanks for watching. If you're interested in the subject of personalities, I have a YouTube channel all about exploring the dynamics of how God loves your personality. That's linked on this page in the YouTube description. Have a good one.